Welcome, whether you're watching from whatever area in the world, from America, from India, from Russia, from Iran. Welcome all to this podcast session today. All things podcast, we're discussing global news, global events, and currently we are faced with the war between United States and is between United States, Israel against Iran. So a lot is happening, and it is um it is important to say that nobody expected this to happen the way it is happening. Nobody expected Iran to stand up against United States, but it is happening. So um we hear reports that Iran is continuing to resist the United States, and casualties keeps on increasing. Many people are dying, both from Iran and from the United States. But like we said the other time, that this war is biblical. Whatever is happening is biblical because the United States needs to do this in order to achieve its goal of being um, the world or controlling the entire world. You'll remember that last time we spoke about that the prophecy reveals that there will be seven kingdoms that will control the entire world. And we said United States is kingdom number six. All right. The United States is kingdom number six. So the United States is kingdom number six. And we had Babylon, Mesopotamia, Greece, Rome, papal power, and now you have the United States. All right. And so what is happening now? It has been long coming, and it is overdue. So according to prophecy, this is sorry according to prophecy, this is what should happen. So project 2025 told us yesterday, welcome uh, in the project 2025 manual. This is where Trump gets his mandate to bomb Iran, because Trump has agreed that he will implement what Project 2025 says. And according to Project 2025, the next war would be with China, because China is becoming more powerful and more like the United States, and the United States doesn't want China to succeed. So now the next project is China. So what we see in Iran, it's a warm up. It's a warm up. So I'm going to read from the Project 2025, which is what Trump is implementing. Trump is implementing Project 2025. You can Google it, what is Project 2025, and you will get the information. So according to Project 2025, the next enemy of the United States after Iran is China. Okay, so this is what it says in page 92 of the Project 2025. It says, by far, the most significant danger to American security, freedoms, and prosperity is China. Okay, China is by any measure the most powerful state in the world other than the United States itself. So the United States recognizes that China is the most powerful state after the United States. So, okay, now let's go to where they speak about Iran, about Iran. In page 93, this is what they say about Iran. Um, they say that in this light, United States defense strategy must identify China unequivocally as the top priority for the US defense planning, while modernizing and expanding the US nuclear arsenal and sustaining an efficient and effective counterterrorism taking on China in Asia, while others take more of a lead in dealing with threats from Russia in Europe, Iran in the Middle East, and North Korea. So they've already dealt with Iran. So there are three countries that they've mentioned, which they are a serious problem for the United States. They say Russia in Europe must be dealt with, Iran in Middle East must be dealt with, and North Korea. All right, North Korea. Okay, so the next superpower that they're going to deal with after they're done with Iran, it's China. All right, and now they're going to deal with China. And I know a lot of us are saying that Russia is the next world superpower. Russia will never be a superpower. China will never be a superpower because the United States is going after all nations that are trying to become or to reach the level where the United States is. So making it impossible for any country to surpass the United States. Okay, so the United States will remain the powerhouse of the world. The United States will remain the big brother of all countries. So there's no country that will be allowed to be equal to the United States. When it comes to missiles, when it comes to army, or it comes to economy, the United States is not going to allow all right, anyone to be a bully. So in the Middle East, Iran was the most powerful. All right. So what must the United States do? The United States must neutralize Iran, take over Iran, bring about regime change in Iran. So Iran now must submit to the United States and work for the United States, or work under the control of the United States. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. And we were told that they had appointed the grandson of Ayatollah, is it his son or grandson of Ayatollah, to be the leader. And reports are saying that he was bombed the same night, the same day he was appointed or elected. You understand? So the United States, they have full control of Iran. Yeah, it may look like this war, it's gonna hurt the United States. This war will not hurt the United States. This war will not destroy the United States. So everybody thinking that Iran will prevail, United States will fail, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The United States will do this. So here's the thing about the United States. Nobody dares to attack the United States. No one will even dare to send a drone in the United States of America, because Iran is aware that Israel is working with the United States. But did Iran send any missile or any drone to the United States? Doesn't Iran have powerful missiles that can reach the United States? They do. But why don't they send or bomb Alabama or bomb Los Angeles or bomb? Why don't they send a drone? They cannot do that because they know the United States is powerful. The United States, it can crush them in a minute if they want to. You understand? And the United States, it's not about bombing people. They want to control the entire world. But because some nations, some countries are refusing to be under the control of the United States, so the only way the United States can take power in those regions is to bomb those regions, or do what they've done to Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq, or what they've recently done in Venezuela, take over the government. So it's either they take over the government by a coup, or the government by a war. That's what they do. So there is the United States. This is what the United States it's doing. Drive Ghana says you are speaking nonsense. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are free to voice your voice and say whatever you want to say, as long we keep it clean. No insults, no vulgar. Let's keep the language professional. You are welcome to disagree with me. Welcome to disagree with me. Not a problem. Yeah. So this is what we're dealing with. And if you think there's a country in this world that can stand up against the United States, you are dreaming. It's a dream. Russia is not powerful. It's not powerful. China, it's more powerful than Russia, because after the United States, the most powerful country is China. Now, I'm gonna when Z Shackle, what's your name? When do you think the war is ending? Look, well, the war will end when the United States decides that the war ends. Okay? When Trump decides that now it's enough, the war is going to stop. It will not be Iran deciding. It will be Trump deciding. It will be the United States. Remember, there is a goal that this war must achieve. Must achieve. So as soon as that goal is achieved, the war will stop. All right. So, but the goal is to control, is to take over Iran. America must have a leader in Iran that will bow down uh, to the United States. The goal is to control Iran, just like they control Venezuela. That is the goal. Remember, Iran is the most powerful nation in the Middle East. So when they control Iran, they've no danger or threat in the Middle East. So they can control the Middle East without any threat. There is no country in the Middle East that is a threat to the United States. Iran is the only country in the Middle East that is a threat to the United States and what the United States wants to achieve. So that's the goal. America must control Iran. That is the goal. That is the goal. Remember, the United States must control the entire world. The goal is to expand Israel lands. Well, that goal is happening. It's of expanding Israel lands. That is what is happening in Palestine. The annexing and the stealing of the Palestinian land, that is to expand the territory of Israel, but not in Iran. Okay? Not in Iran. Iran is a different thing. What Israel is doing in Palestine is to expand or stealing the land of Palestinian. That is what is happening there. But with Iran, it is to have control over the region. Remember, if America wanted to do something in Qatar, to do something in UAE, or do something, there's a big brother who will say, if they do to UAE, if they do to um, Jordan, or they will come to me. So Iran will always protect the region so that the region bows to Iran. Okay? They want all Middle East for them. Exactly, exactly. United States wants the Middle East for themselves to control it. Okay. And this is going to be easy for the United States to take over the world. All right. Or to have the entire world bowing down to the United States, because Iran is part of the BRICS nation. The BRICS nations, you have Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All right. And Iran is part of the BRICS nation. If I may ask, what significant thing has the BRICS nation done to assist Iran? Have they done anything to assist Iran? All right, because by touching Iran, touching a BRICS member, has the BRICS done something? You see that the BRICS, it's only focus on the economics. The BRICS countries, they've not united their army. We don't have a BRICS army. So if we had a BRICS army, then the United States wouldn't mess with Iran, because the BRICS army will immediately go and defend Iran. But the United States is moving fast before there's even a BRICS army that could be the threat. We know that the BRICS nation, the population of the BRICS nation, it's more than half of the world's population. All right. So you think Iran losing in this war, and you do not think US is trapped with Israel in this war? Well, Israel. Okay, so you think Iran losing in this war, and you do not think US is trapped with Israel in this war? No, 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 no. US is not trapped. Remember, Rubio. This is what Rubio said the other day. Rubio. Now let me read it for you here. The United States is not trapped. It cannot be trapped. What did the congressman say yesterday? They said they support what Trump has done, and they support him. Now, this is what Rubio said. He said the only reason we are at war with Iran is because Israel forced our hand. All right. And it was Israel that who demanded the war, and the Americans can never say no. All right. So the United States is not trapped. The United States is the most powerful country in the world, and it is the only country which violates international law without any consequences. All right. There is no country that can behave like the United States and survive for an hour. Only the United States. So the United States controls everything and anything we see in the world today. So it knows when it goes to war with Iran, no one will do anything to the United States. So the United States is not trapped. The nation that is trapped, it's Israel, because Iran does not send missiles to the United States. It sends missiles to Israel. So it's two countries attacking Iran. It's the United States and Israel. United States is not suffering. Only the soldiers of the United States are suffering, but the United States as a country is not affected by the war because Iran wouldn't dare send a missile or bomb to the United States, the land of the United States. You understand? So the one country which is trapped is Israel, because Israel cannot back out now. Even when Israel realizes that I am losing many cities, I am losing many my people my people are being killed. Israel cannot now pull out. So it's Israel who is trapped, not the United States. The United States cannot be trapped. United is not the most powerful country in the world. Well, the United States is not the powerful country in the world. If the United States is not the powerful country in the world, tell me which one is the reasoning corner. Which country is the most powerful in the world if it's not the United States, please? Because the only country that is powerful in the entire world is the United States. Bahrain, come on. The United States is the only country in the world that is the most powerful country in the world, and is the only country which breaks and violates all international laws. The United States can they're not part of the United Nations, okay? They pulled out from the United Nations. They are not part of the International Criminal Court. You understand? Why is the United States not part of the International Criminal Court? It's because the United States can break each and every international law and will not face any consequences because they are not part of that international criminal court. You understand? So there is you cannot take the United States to that because they are not part of that. San Marino, most powerful country. Guys, how do you judge the country to be the most powerful? How do you judge? Do you know what makes the country to be the most powerful? What makes the country to be the most powerful? It's not the money. It is the army. The army makes the country to be the most powerful. The army and all the machinery that you need makes the country to be the most powerful. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the army, you are not powerful. So the United States has the best army in the world. Not only do they have the best army in the world, but the United States Army is scattered all over the world. Almost in each and every country in the world, there is an army base of the United States. Few countries they don't have. So literally the United States Army it's almost in every country in the world as we speak. The more bananas, the more powerful. I don't understand what you mean there. But this is what I'm saying, that the United States is the only country in the world that has its army bases scattered throughout the world, throughout the world, throughout the world. No country is like that. No country has that. Only the United States. Okay, so that is why we say the United States is the most powerful country. All right. So back to why United States is not trapped in this war. The only country that is trapped in this war is Israel, because Israel was not expecting Iran to resist. Israel never thought that Iran will resist to this far. All right. Well, where am I staying? Well, I'm don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But I'm in South Africa, my brother. I'm in South Africa. Don't worry. I'm in South Africa, my brother. I'm in South Africa. All right. So Iran is resisting and Israel is suffering. I don't know whether you've noticed that even on X, the algorithm has been altered with. We no longer see Iran, we no longer see videos showing Iran bombing Israel. We only see videos of Israel bombing Iran. And that should tell you that it's bad in Israel. Because once they start hiding or preventing us to see what is actually happening in Israel, it means it's bad there. You understand? Every coin has two sides. It doesn't matter how small the coin is. Why is it we're only shown one side of the coin? We're only showing what Israel is doing to Iran, but not what Iran is doing to Israel. So it's bad. It's bad what is happening. But the United States, it's powerful. The United States is powerful. Nobody can touch it. Russia cannot touch the United States. All right, let's take Russia. We know that the war in Ukraine, it's sponsored by the United States of America. The United States is the one which is giving money to Zelensky. You understand? Zelensky. What has Russia done about that? Has Russia said, I will put sanctions on the United States because you are supporting Ukraine? I'm fighting with Ukraine. You are giving Ukraine money. Has Russia done anything? Russia cannot do anything. The only thing Russia can do is to keep fighting. Okay? So there is nothing any country can do to the United States. You know, if we get that in our minds, our lives will be easy and we'll start dealing with matters as they are. Okay, your Yodiac. So you have more bananas, that means more food. Bananas feed population. Leftover bananas peels can be used against enemies and cause them to sleep. Yodiac, what? No, man, no. All right, Peters, do I really need to hear this from a black man? Well, oh, really, you, well, you see, it's not about a black man or a white man, or it's not about that. It's information, it's reality that is happening. Whether you are hearing it from a black man or it don't matter. It don't matter, my friend. It don't matter. Have you turned yourself into ice yet? Hey, all right, Pete Peters, go back to work now. Don't worry. I work from home. Don't worry. You talk bull. All right. Yes, it does. Listen, when I say the army is what determines the power of the country. All right. If Venezuela had a strong army, United States will not have been able to penetrate Venezuela. But because the army of Venezuela was weak and the air defense of Venezuela was weak, the United States was able to enter without being detected. And they were able to to take the president of Venezuela because the army was weak. That's the point. You know, that's the point. So if you have a strong army, they cannot do anything. That is why Israel on its own cannot do anything to Iran because Iran has more sophisticated missile than Israel. Everything Israel uses, Israel gets it from the United States. You understand? But Iran had an independent manufacturing or factory. They are manufacturing their own missiles. You understand? On bombs, on everything. Iran is doing that on their own. You understand? So because Iran is doing that on their own, they are a threat to the United States because they don't depend in the United States to have guns. They don't depend on the United States to have bombs or anything. They don't depend on China or Russia. They manufacture their own thing. Other than Qatar and others who depends on the United States and China and Russia to supply them with machinery of war. But it is not so with Iran. Iran, they manufacture their own weapons. They manufacture their own nuclear. They manufacture their own everything. They do it from scratch. They have their own independent system, independent, you understand, manufacturing systems of wars. You understand? So that is a danger to the United States because United States wants to control how many nuclear bombs you can have, how many nuclear plants you can have, how many guns you can buy, how many you can own, and they could not do that with Iran. Do you believe the army should use banana tactics? Yo, yeah, come on, man. What can you do with banana? You cannot fight a war with banana. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You need serious machinery. You need serious missiles. You need serious bombs. All right. Manish Sawant, if the US succeeds in Iran, it will dominate most of the global oil market after Venezuela. Iran has been the only major barrier to the monopoly. Manish Sawant, 100% correct. In fact, you have summarized the whole thing. I should just end the live right now. Manish, this is exactly the point. This is exactly the point. The United States wants to control the oil. You understand? Wants to control the oil. It's all about the oil because that is the major thing. And you will know that anything that has a motor, anything that has a motor, it uses oil. So all the machines in big industries, they need the oil, the ships needs the oil, the planes needs the oil, almost every industry needs the oil. So the United States needs to control this oil because any big machine that moves or that produces something, it uses oil. So that is why before they attacked Iran, they needed to make sure that they secure oil from Venezuela in case Iran resists for longer. And as Iran resists for longer, they have a shortage of oil. So to cover for that shortage of oil, that's why before attacking Iran, they needed to take over Venezuela so that they have constant flow of oil. Where is the oil money of Black Africa? Man, Pete, do you know Africa is not independent, my brother? Africa is owned and controlled by the West. Africa is not independent. The only country in Africa that it's independent right now as we speak is Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is the only country in Africa that you can say it's truly free for now because Ibrahim Traore got rid of the colonizer. You understand? And we don't know how long will those countries. I think it's Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. You understand? So Africa is still under colony. Guys, Africa is nothing. Africa is not a threat to anyone. And African states have been designed to be beggars. They love AIDS. So they love AIDS from these countries which have colonized them. And so Africa is not a threat to anybody because the leaders of Africa, they love to be friends with the Western people. They love to be friends with your Trump. They love to be friends with your the leaders of the world, the first world countries, and they are leading the countries, or they are running the countries on behalf of their puppet masters. So oil in Africa, Nigeria, who controls Nigeria? You understand? Who controls the minerals? We all the minerals we have, the minerals that are in Africa, no continent has more minerals than Africa. Electrical cars, the minerals that are needed for the electrical cars, all of them are in Africa. You have electrical cars, the minerals are taken from Africa. The battery that the car uses, all minerals are from Africa. But which African country manufactures electrical cars from scratch? You don't have that. You understand? Because Africa does not own itself. Africa does not own itself. From the food we eat, we're importing everything, because that's how the colony has set up its thing. So you cannot talk about Africa in this war. Africa has nothing. Africa has nothing. That is why for Africa to be powerful, it has to unite. We need there has to be the United States of Africa. That's the only way Africa can be powerful. But now they've divided Africa into smaller portion, and Africa cannot do anything. Africa, in fact, the entire Africa cannot stand against Iran. They cannot. They cannot stand against Iran. Like, even more, you see, North Korea is more powerful than the entire Africa when it comes to missiles, when it comes to war. North Korea can destroy the entire Africa at a go. You understand? So they've made sure that Africa has no nuclear power. Africa has no strong army, because should Africa have strong army, no country, no nation under the sun can be able to stand with Africa. You know that Africa is the only continent. Yeah, it is owned by England. True. Africa is the only continent that has the highest population in the world. Africa, it's a billion nation. It's a billion people. A billion people. I think, I don't know, 1.8 billion, 1.2 billion, but Africa's population, it's a billion population. And a billion population cannot defend itself against a 400 million nation, United States. You understand? You understand? So the United States, guys, is powerful. It's powerful. Very powerful. The United Nations, it's powerful than the United States. The United States controls the United Nations. You understand? Even the United Nations cannot do anything about the war in Iran. The only thing they can do is to issue statements and say, no, we distance ourselves from that, we condemn it. But has a statement helped anybody? Has any statement helped stop war? Never. It has never happened. Okay, Pete Peters, I've been to Africa, but why is North Africa different? All right. So it depends on how long has that country been been freed, so-called free, been freed, and has been allowed to prosper. Because remember, some, they had their freedom, or the apartheid was ended longer than others. Some, they've been free from apartheid for 40 years, for 30 years and all that. So those countries which had their their freedoms earlier, they are doing very well, but some they're not doing very well. So the countries that are the ones that are suffering the most are the countries which have most minerals. Okay, most minerals. The countries with most minerals are the ones that are suffering, because should they be allowed to use their minerals, and they will now realize that, guys, our minerals have more value. But now they don't know the value their minerals have, because their minerals are taken from their countries raw as they are to create jobs overseas. You understand? So without Africa, uh, Europe, Asia, and all these continents will be poor. So what makes Europe, America, Asia rich is Africa. It's Africa. You understand? It's Africa. It's Africa. So this is what is happening. So that is why Africa will not be any problem to the United States take over. Africa is not even at the back minds of Trump, because Trump knows, United States knows, Africa it's a dog which cannot bark. You understand? There's nothing Africa can do to contribute to this war. Nothing Africa can do to add to this war. You understand? Unless America sends a certain country in Africa and say, Africa, I want you to do this, because like I said before, United States has army base in Africa. In Lesotho, there's an army base close to South Africa. You understand? If America wants to bomb South Africa, they will do it in Botswana, just there, Botswana. Botswana, bomb South Africa. You understand? So the United States, because it has army base all over the world, when the United States wants to fight a certain country, they use a country in which they have good morning, and welcome, mucho grace, welcome. The United States, when it wants to attack a certain country, they don't come as United States. They use the country in which they have an army base. Like in instance, they're using Israel to bomb Iran. So if they wanted to bomb South Africa, they will use Botswana, because that's where they have their army base in Botswana. So you will think Botswana is attacking South Africa, whereas it's the United States using Botswana to bomb. That's how they work. So this is why I'm saying United States is the most powerful country in the world. China is the second most powerful country in the world, maybe followed by Russia. You understand? In terms of army, in terms of war, in terms of the sophistication of the instruments of war, bombs and all that. It's the United States, it's China, it's Russia, and then Iran, then North Korea. You understand? And these countries are a threat to the United States. You understand? Kim Jong-un, North Korea, is a threat to the United States. So, but now the bigger threat, according to Project 2025, the bigger threat is China. The bigger threat is China. And so the next country or nation that they will get to fight with now, it will be China. You will see after 10 years, Ethiopia's army strength. I don't know why you talk about Ethiopia. Why you, okay. Well, okay, Ethiopia. No, all right, Ethiopia. I mean, guys, how powerful is Ethiopia? Ethiopia has no experience in war. Remember, Ethiopia is the only country that was never colonized. Ethiopia has no experience in war. Ethiopia has no sophistication. So Ethiopia, nah, guys, Ethiopia, no, it's not powerful. Ethiopia is not powerful. It's not powerful. It cannot do anything. Ethiopia is not powerful. Like, Well, besides not having enough food, but you cannot compare Ethiopia to any country. Like when we talk about the top 5 countries, when we talk about the top 5 countries, even the top 10 countries, you will not even have an African state. When we talk about the top 10 countries, there is not even a single African state that can be part of the top 10 when it comes to army, when it comes to missiles, when it comes to bomb, when it comes to nuclear. You won't even have one African country, one African state as part of the top 10 when we talk globally. They will be lucky even to have a top 20. You understand? We'll be lucky to even have a top 20. Ethiopian are the same as my country, Lesotho. Yeah, Lesotho. I mean, Lesotho is just a small country like Swaziland. It's nothing. There are. I mean, Lesotho. I think how many are you there, Lesotho? You are like 2 million, something like that. 2 million people. I mean, Pete Peters in Africa. It's South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco. Yeah, yeah, you're correct. But can Morocco be in top 10? Can Egypt be in top 10? You understand? They cannot be in top 10. When we're now talking globally, the most powerful country globally when it comes to war, army, when we say we're going to war, we need a 10 or for just for illustration, let's say our world as we know it, it's being invaded by foreign or aliens, like they love to say. Well, I don't believe in aliens. I'm just saying. I don't believe there are aliens. I don't believe in aliens. But just to get my point, across. Let's say we were in that situation where our world is being invaded, and we say we need the ten best armies in the world. South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, and Morocco will not make the list of the top 10. Will not make the list. You will have the United States, you will have China, you will have Russia, you will have Iran, you will have North Korea, you will have United Kingdom, the NATO. You will have NATO countries. You understand? Because after the United States, it's China, it's Russia, it's North Korea, it's Iran, then the NATO countries. You understand? India, Pakistan, they're not powerful. They're not powerful. So when we do the maths, you'll have your United States, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and then the NATO. The NATO. That will make the top 10. The top 10. No country in Africa would make top 10. Okay, Fangon, what do you think of Burkina Faso closing its American embassy? It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good because Burkina Faso wants to be independent, but it won't be long. They can close it for now, but eventually the United States will have control of Burkina Faso. The United States will have control of all these countries in the world because that's what the United States is aiming to become. Guys, I encourage you to download and read Project 2025. Please download and read Project 2025. All that I'm talking about, it is in that manual, Project 2025. It tells you the plans of the United States globally, what the United States must achieve. You understand? And who are the targets of the United States? Project 2025. That's the manual that Trump is using. That is the manual that has led us to the war with Iran. You understand? So that's what we need to focus upon. So what Burkina Faso is doing is good for now, but a time is going to come where they will deal with Burkina Faso because they won't take it lying down. They won't take it lying down. The United States will come and it will take over Burkina Faso. So it's a global war. So this war, it's a global one, but it must begin with regions that are an imminent threat to the United States. It must begin with the countries which United States consider to be dangerous and to be the stumbling block to the United States. Okay, uh, plans and reality, plans and reality are very different. Well, I don't know what you mean there. Plans and reality are very different. That is true. That is true. That is true. But plans do become reality after some time. So when they were planning to bomb Iran, it was not realistic in the eyes of many. But now that they're bombing it, the reality is that it's being bombed now. So it may not be, it may be plans that this is what they plan to do, but one day it's gonna come. Baz Kumar, Iran, you're calling as Ion. Oh, well. So yeah, Iran. Things are happening. Things are happening. So do we have any doubt that the United States is beginning a total takeover of the entire world? Because this is what is happening. The United States is beginning a total takeover of the entire world, and nobody is going to stop it. Nobody's going to stop it. And the question is, what should we do? That should be the question. What must we do? Because war is going to come everywhere. Even in the United States, war is going to come someday. Because for the United States to be able to justify that all nations should be under one control or under the control of the United States, the United States someday will suffer resistance from China. China is capable, from Russia. So one day, United States will be provoking, but there will be a World War III, which will affect all countries, just like COVID-19 affected all nations. So when that time comes where the plans will be now to destabilize all regions, to destabilize all nations, that is when we're going to face some problems. And we need to know what we must do. Now, let me share this information. I shared it yesterday. Do you know and do you understand that these war, even these bombs or these missiles that are being rained both in Israel and in Iran, do you know that they are only bombing cities and towns? In the villages, nothing is happening. No bombing in the villages. If they are bombing in the villages, it hardly happens, because in the villages you only have maybe 100 people there, 50 people there, even scattered, not congested. So there is no country or there is no general who will waste a missile or waste a bomb in a village area or in a country area. So they don't waste these bombs or these missiles in a country. They only bomb cities, they only bomb towns, because that's where there are a lot of people. Understand? That's where there's a lot of people. So the only way we can be safe during the times of war, it is to leave the cities and go to country living. Go live in the country, because they will not send bombs in the country. They will not send missiles in the country. They will only send it to a place where it will do serious damage to infrastructure, to humans. You understand? So in the country, there's no infrastructure to destroy. So that is why country living is important. So I will encourage all of us to have some space in the country, so that immediately they say there's war, we leave the cities and we go to the country. At least in the country, our safety can be guaranteed, maybe 80% guaranteed, because there's no infrastructure that they will want to attack. Do you know? Okay, let me Iran is powerful. Definitely, Iran is powerful. That's why it took United States to bomb Iran. Israel could not do anything to Iran. Israel could not do anything to Iran. Nothing. Fangon one. Do you think that China? Do you think that China's near monopoly on rare earth mineral processing will seriously hurt America's ability to replenish their advanced weaponry? No, no, no. China will not do anything. China will not do anything. Let me, let me, let me. I'm not sure if I'll find it. Back to Project 2020 Fangon. This is what they're saying. They're saying that the United States must stop all trades with China. Okay? United States must stop all trades with China. So the plan of the United States is to cripple the Chinese economy. It's not the other way around. China will not do anything to hurt the United States of America. Only the United States can hurt China. Like we need to understand how powerful the United States is. And this is not in any way praising the United States or worshiping the United States, but these are the facts. You understand? There is no nation under the sun that can be able to destroy the economy of the United States or to slow down the weaponry of the United States. It is impossible. So China, rare earth mineral processing will never hurt the United States. But the plan is for the United States to withdraw or to stop all trade with China. And in fact, I read something yesterday, and let me read it for you, that the United States is let me read this for you. You can check it on Wikipedia. The United States is consistently the largest buyer of goods from China, importing over 500 billion worth of products annually as of 2023. So the United States is consistently the largest buyer of goods from China. They buy almost 14% of the goods from China. That's the United States. You understand? The US leads in purchasing machinery, electronics, textiles, accounting for over 14% of China's total exports. Other major imports include Hong Kong, Japan, Vietnam, and South Korea. So here it is that the United States is the one that it's making China to prosper, because China gets almost $500 billion yearly from the United States government. You understand? So United States spends almost $500 billion every year. I'm sure this year it should be 6 trillion or 7 trillion. So China is the one who benefits the most from the United States, not the other way around. This is why you need to understand the position of the United States globally. Okay, this is why we need to understand the position of the United States globally. United States is not just an ordinary country. The United States is the big brother. Is the big brother of all imports, big brother of all exports, big brother of sanctions, big brother of anything. There is no country that can stand toe to toe with the United States, whether economically or in terms of weapons or in terms of anything. The United States is the big brother. So China cannot in any way hurt the United States. Even if Chinese were going to say, we'll stop our cars from coming to the United States, the United States will have, nah, we don't care. You understand? So the United States is a bully. It's the bully of the world. And China knows and understands that. You understand? China knows and understands that. So the war that is happening in America, in Israel, between Israel and Iran, it's for the United States to take control over the whole world. But now, let me give you the other side of the coin, because we know a coin has two sides. I don't care how small the coin is, it always has two sides. Let me give you the other side of the coin. The other side of the coin. All right. So the other side of the coin is this. Actually, the United States, as powerful as it is controlled by the Jews. All right? As powerful as it is, who is behind the running of the United States? The Jews are behind the running of the United States. All right? Yeah. And please, let me ask you at this point to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed. Please subscribe to the channel so that when we come back next time, you are notified immediately. And if you, so you don't miss any episode, please hit the subscribe button, help the channel grow. The more subscribers we have, the more the algorithms, supply our conversations. All right. So who runs the United States? The United States is controlled by the Jews from Israel. That is why it was easy for Benjamin Netanyahu to tell the United States what to do. All right, let me read what Rubio said a day before yesterday. And I'll also read, okay, let me start with what Benjamin Netanyahu said, then I'll read what the United States response was to what the man said. This is what Benjamin Netanyahu said. He said, I quote, "I've been trying to persuade the US presidents to attack Iran for decades." All right? Benjamin Netanyahu on Fox News said this was an exclusive interview with Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu, Fox News. This is what he said. He said, I have been trying to persuade US presidents to attack Iran for decades. So Benjamin Netanyahu told the entire world that for decades he has been trying to get American presidents, not one president, not two presidents, but many presidents, almost all presidents of the United States. Benjamin Netanyahu, from George Bush, from Obama, from Biden, and now Trump. He's saying, I've been trying to persuade US presidents to attack Iran for decades, and all the US presidents refused to attack Iran. And the only president who agreed is Trump. That is why Trump is implementing the Project 25, the Project 2025. That's why Project 2025 is being implemented by Donald Trump, because when he was running for elections, Donald Trump supporters, J.D. Vance and all of them, they are part of Project 2025. Okay, so Trump agreed that I'm gonna do what Project 2025 wants me to do. And one of the things that Project 2025 wants, they want Iran out of power. They want North Korea out of power. They want China out of power. They want Russia out of power. All right. So this is what is happening. So is America, as we stand today, it is not controlled and run by Americans. It is controlled by the Jews. Okay? It is controlled by the Jews. Welcome, Tanzania, guys. We love all of you. Jovi Bain said, welcome, welcome yourself. Welcome yourself. So this is what is happening. This is what is happening. So this is a global war. This is bigger than just Iran. It affects everyone. It affects everyone. Hi, MP at MPDG. Welcome. Arnold Den, welcome. Welcome to all of you that you have joined us if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We are talking about the United States power. United States power. No country in the under the sun is more powerful than the United States. The United States does not obey any international law. The United States does as it pleases. No country can behave like the United States and survive for a minute. No country can just go and bomb another country in this world can survive a minute. But the United States does it with impunity. No country can stand up against the United States and say, US, what you are doing is nonsense, is rubbish, stop what you are doing, or else we are coming for you. No nation under the heavens can say that to the United States. All right? No nation. All right, no nation can do that. Excuse, are you constipated? Well, constipated, I'm not sure. Oh, interesting comment there. Interesting comment there. You are welcome, Grady. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. All right, so there's no nation under the heavens that can stand up to the United States, that can say, United States, stop what you're doing in Iran, or else we're coming for you. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. You understand? That is why the United States, we said it before, it is not part of the International Criminal Court. Because they're not part of the International Criminal Court, the International Criminal Court cannot do anything to the United States. That's why United States is able to break all international laws with impunity, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It is wrong for the United States to attack Iran according to the international law, international boundaries, international territories. It was wrong for the United States to enter Venezuela according to international law. But who is saying anything about that? Who is acting upon that? Who said to the United States, stop what you're doing or else we're coming for you? No country under the heavens can do that to the United States of America. That's why the United States will achieve its goal of total takeover of the entire world. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, it is prophecy. It has been prophesied that this is what is going to happen. And this is what is happening. I told you on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I told you that we have 7 world empires. 7 world empires. The first empire was Babylon. The second was the Medes and the Persian. The third was Greece. The fourth was Rome. The fifth was pagan. It was papal power, the papacy led by the Roman Catholic Church. And the 6th kingdom is the United States of America. Okay? The United States of America. Now, the United States of America, it must now bring all countries together, unite all countries together under one. And that takes us to the United Nations, because the purpose of the United Nations is to have all countries, all nations united. But united to do what? So it's United Nations. What are they uniting to do? Have you asked yourself, what is the purpose of the United Nations? What are these nations uniting to do? What is it that the United Nations wants to achieve? And whose idea was it to form the United Nations? And who controls the United Nations? Who controls the United Nations? Okay, Johosma, United Nations are losing power. Yeah, United Nations are losing power. No, what do you mean United Nations are losing power? What do you mean United Nations are losing power? Chuhasma, what do you mean United Nations are losing power? What do you mean? What do you mean United Nations are losing power? So United Nations, what are they uniting to do? Very little influence. Of course. You see, of course, very little influence. In fact, they have no influence whatsoever. They have no influence whatsoever. If United Nations had influence, they would have stopped the war between Ukraine and Russia. If they had influence. So United Nations have no influence whatsoever. And the reason United Nations has no influence is because the United States is not part of it. Because the United Nations, they are telling us to stop using fossil fuels, to stop using oil, using gas, using all these natural fossil fuels, right? That's the United Nations. Is even climate change is part of the United Nations. Okay, let me read here. Interesting conversation. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Fangon. Thank you, Fangon, for tuning in. I hope you have subscribed. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your time. Mike Kelly, just like the ICC, no power. Exactly, no power. And the reason they have no power is because the people who set up these institutions are the ones who are making it to be powerless, because they've created this institution to punish others. The International Criminal Court was created mostly to deal with African leaders, who will disobey, because most of the people who have been persecuted by the International Criminal Court, it's African leaders. So that is why there's no African leader or African country that will do anything amiss against the United States or against any other Western country, because they will be taken to the International Criminal Court, and the International Criminal Court will, without thinking twice, persecute that leader. So that's why Africans are towing the line, because they are afraid of the ICC. All right, Chris 7286, where did you study and what are your qualifications that make you a scholar on this subject? What a question. We will not answer that question. Just subscribe to the channel to find out. I'll tell you one day. Subscribe to the channel, Chrissa7286. Subscribe to the channel. I will tell you one day. Africa, as crazy as it is now, often a voice of reason. Well, Africa is a voice of reason. That's the thing. What Africans can do, what African states can do, it's only talk, say the right things, but no actions. It doesn't help anybody. Talking without action doesn't assist or help anybody. And that's what African countries do. They issue statements. What has the statement done for the Africans? How many statements has the African Union issued? And what has those statements done to change lives? Statements don't change life. Statements don't feed people. So that's what they do. No power. So the United Nations, set up by the United States, has no power. And who controls the United Nations? The United States controls the United Nations. The UN has no power, Juhazma. The UN has no power. That's why I'm saying the only entity that has power is the United States of America, and they're not afraid to use their power. They're not afraid to show their power. Russia is powerful, but scared of the United States. China is powerful, but scared of the United States. Africa is like the UN, of course. In fact, Africa is like the UN. Same thing, same WhatsApp group, Same WhatsApp group. Africa is like UN, useless. Useless. They can't do anything. They can't do anything. For example, there's been a war in DRC. Some rebels are going there, killing people, stealing minerals. What has the African Union do? They've done nothing. You understand? You mean to tell me the entire state is failing to get rid of rebels? The entire state, with all the machines, with all the planes of war, you are failing to destroy some 200, 300, or even 1,000 rebels. You are not able to deal with them. Really? Are you a state? Are you a powerful state? So because in Africa, these terrorist groups have more power, more resources, more weapons than the state. Do you know that in Africa, most African countries, the terrorist groups, the rebel groups, have more weapons than the state itself? The state army have no weapons. They cannot face the terrorist groups for a day. The terrorist groups are armed, more armed than the state. What is that? So it is by design. So the United Nations, man, they're not powerful. The United States is powerful. And the war that we're having today is here to show you that United States doesn't play games. United States doesn't play games. Yes, Juhazma, Africa is like the UN, no power like the UN. You understand? That's why in the beginning I was saying that there's no African states that qualifies to be in the top 10 of the best armies. You understand? No African state can be in the world's top 10 best army. Nothing like that. It can never happen. In fact, even if only if you combine all the states of Africa and then combine their armies, only then you can have in fact, Africa can even become the top one. It can even become the top one when we unite when we unite the states of Africa. You understand? Unite the nations of Africa. Then Africa can become a force to be reckoned with. But at this point, nothing. All right. So as we conclude, I was telling you about the other side of the coin. Not likely, yes. I was telling you about the other side of the coin, that the United States is not controlled by Americans. It's controlled by the Jews. That is why Benjamin Netanyahu told the United States that I'm going to attack Iran. Whether you are coming or not, I'm attacking. But if you don't come, there'll be problems. So you must come to me, join me in war against Iran. And that's what Rubio told us. And that's what they're all telling us. You understand? That's what they're all telling us. This is what Rubio says the only reason we are at war with Iran is because Israel forced our hand. So Israel controls the United States. Yesterday, we made an example by Epstein files. That Epstein files are the reasons this war came early. The war was inevitable. The war was going to come, but it came early because of files. So the Jews have something on Trump. Trump is kicking butt around the world. Yes, Trump is kicking butt around the world because Trump's butt is being kicked by the people who are blackmailing him, by the people who have debt on him. All right. So this is happening. And so the Jews controls the United States of America. Yesterday we heard Jermaine Evans. He's not with us today. Jermaine Evans said United States will never become what I'm saying it's going to become, because the United States is based on two principles: separation of church and state. And I said the United States is going to change. There will be no separation of church and state. As Trump is kicking butt around the world, Trump will kick butt around the world and cause chaos until such a time that martial laws will be enacted. And once they enact martial laws, no constitution will be working. All constitutions of the world will be done away with. Only martial arts, because martial arts gives authority to the leader to issue any direction, and that direction becomes final. No more constitution. So as Trump kicks butt all over the world, Trump is bringing stability. Well, we cannot say that. Trump is not bringing stability. He's bringing chaos. Then out of the chaos, then they will bring about stability. So this is order out of chaos. This is order out of chaos. This is what is happening. Order out of chaos. Trump is creating chaos globally so that they can bring about order out of this chaos. This is what is happening. So the Jews are controlling the systems that we see today in this world. And this is what is happening. And this is what is happening. And we are watching it. And some of us are watching it and we don't understand, or we don't try to go deeper to find the reasons as to why are these things happening and why are they happening now. I can tell you, we are living in the last days. We are living in the times of the end. Jesma, I am in South Africa. I am in South Africa. I am in South Africa. Yeah. I'm in South Africa. I'm in South Africa. Yeah. And in South Africa is not safe from America. America can do anything. America can do anything to any country. No country can stand up against the United States. Well, do I know, Alvin, is that a person or a place or what? I mean, South Africa, it's big, my friend. South Africa is big, my friend. What is Alvin? What is that? Is it a person or what? All right. So South Africa is not like a mall or a person. Well, I don't know prophets. I don't know prophets. I don't know any prophets. I don't know I don't know that person. Guys, South Africa is a huge country. We have almost 70 million people, population 70 million, excluding foreigners. All right, excluding illegal and legal foreigners. The population it's 70, running to 70 million. 9 provinces. Very big landscape. Very big landscape. So it's big. It's big, my friend. I can tell you that it's big. It's big, my friend. It's big. All right. It's big. Very big. It's very big. All right. Are you from Canada? Canada, it's a big landscape. All right. Canada, it's a big landscape. Whoa. All right. Hey, G-Main event. Yeah, what? We've been waiting for you, G-Main event. What up? How's you there? Well, unfortunately, you are so late today. And you're coming at a time where we're about to close this thing. You're coming at a time where we're about to end our program. Just left. Well, things are popping. Well, we're about to conclude. Yeah, peace out, Juzma, and I hope you're having a good time in London, in UK, in Canada, in Canada. I hope you're having a great time, great time, great time. Yeah. So this is all what is about. The global world as we know it, it's changing. The United States is taking over, and nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to change it. Whether you love it or you don't love it, whether you believe it or you don't believe it, the world is changing. COVID 19 was the start of change. COVID 19 was a practice. And COVID 19, in 2 weeks, the entire world was on lockdown. Lockdown, 2 weeks the entire world was on lockdown, and you had that one man who was the voice of lockdown, Tedros, of the World World Health Organization. Who you had that guy speaking? Oh, we don't have vaccine. We encourage everybody to go and sit at home. Don't go out of your house because COVID-19 is gonna kill you. And everybody was scared of dying. Now it was a pandemic, but what is going to come is bombs will be flying. I don't know. Are we prepared? Are we preparing? I'm going to say again, J-Main event, that it is time to leave the cities. It is time to get out of the cities. It is time to go to the country. Let's do country living, guys, because they will not send bombs in the country. They will not send drones in the country. They will not send missiles in the country. They only send bombs in the cities because that's where infrastructure is. That's where damage is done. That's where all these factories are. That's where all these production industries are. So when we go to the country, we will not suffer as much as the people in the cities, the people towns, in the estates. Leave your estates. You can stay in the estates, but have a place in the country. Make no mistake, let us all have place in the country. My guy in Canada, my boy in Canada, have a place in the country. Go in the country. Build a house in the country. It don't matter how small. Store food in the country, because once we reach the level where war will just be rolling out, we will not have time to move. Okay, now is the time to prepare for the worst that is about to come. I don't know whether it's going to come in 2 years time or 3 years time or 5 years time. All I know that World War III is going to come, and every nation under the heavens will suffer. But the locations which it's targeted, it's cities, towns, estates, where things are happening, where there's a lot of population. They won't waste a missile in a country where 10 people are living scattered, not congested. So it is time now for us to prepare for the worst that is about to come. All right? Prepare for the worst that is about to come. If you've seen in Israel and in Iran, the buildings that are being bombed, 30 floors, 10 floors, 20 floors. Those are the big buildings that are being bombed. They're not bombing villages. They're not bombing such places. You understand? And it's congested areas. That's why I'm saying, let us leave the cities. Let us plan to leave the cities. Let us plan country, because no matter how the war can come, the country space will not be much affected, but the cities will be affected, because that's where your meter houses are. That's where your best schools are. That's where your universities are. That's where your shopping centers are. That's where your libraries are, your police are. Anything that moves the government is found in the cities. And that's where the terrorists or these governments will be attacking when the war comes. All right, a total takeover by the United States it's imminent, and countries will fight against countries. I don't know whether you believe in the prophecies of the Bible. We're told that nation will fight against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It is time. It is time for that. So Iran is just a warm-up. A serious war and a big war is going to begin. And I think it is time for us to prepare ourselves. To prepare ourselves. Well, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again tomorrow. I'll see you again tomorrow. Wherever you are, let's pray for peace. Wherever we are, let's plan to leave the cities. Leave the cities, people of God. Leave the cities, my friends. Leave the cities. Let's go to the country. Let's go to the country. War will come. Cities will be visited. Bombs will rain. So if you live in a city, you live in the suburbs, you live in an estate, please begin a process to withdraw from those places. You can work in the city, but have something in the country, because that's where your safety will be guaranteed. Because when terrorists hit, 9/11, where did they hit? They did not hit some forest. They hit some important buildings. So that's how they work. So our only safety is to be in the country. Country living, my people. Country living. Kelvin Constantine, country living. Kelvin Constantine, country living. Let's do country living. Thank you all for tuning in. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue tomorrow. Bye. I end it.